I didn't leave my job because I was ready. I left because it was toxic and eating me alive. I was scared, the money stopped moneying, and I had no idea what I was gonna do next. But even in the chaos, somehow I was still able to manifest a 6-figure remote job, working from home. If you've ever been there, stuck in something that was completely draining you, but you had no idea how to walk away, keep watching. Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. I am TEDRA Chanel, and in this video, I really just want to convey the fact that you can be a master manifester and still have doubts. Now, although I walked away from my job like I was this complete badass, I went in one morning, packed up my desk, and walked out without anybody knowing what was going on. In the midst of it all, I was absolutely terrified. I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't even have plan A. Money was the tightest it had been in a really, really long time. I cried, I panicked, I cussed, and sometimes all at the same damn time. Even with over 10 years of manifestation and studying the craft in the universal laws, I still found myself doubting everything. I woke up crying. I went to bed crying. I was scared. I was talking to my friend, and he was like, girl, get it together. And remember that you are capable of manifesting anything and everything. And I have documented that journey for the last decade plus right here on my YouTube channel. In spite of all of that, I was still deathly afraid. I was still doubting every single thing. I was like, there's no way my bills are gonna get paid. How's my rent gonna get paid? How's my water bill gonna get paid? The lights are gonna be turned off at any moment. I was going through this roller coaster of chaos. I wasn't in alignment at all. I wasn't practicing what I preach. And in the midst of that, I just continued to manifest more reasons to be scared, afraid, crying, cussing, and just having mental breakdowns every 5 business minutes. I found myself dooms scrolling on TikTok for hours and hours on end, sitting in my bed, staring out of the window, trying to find answers outside of myself. But then I had to reel it in and remember that you know how to do this. This is just temporary. Go back to the foundational principles and the foundational strategies that you have used over and over the course of 10 plus years. So what I did was I got back to scripting. What is it that you want? Scripting really does help. It's super beneficial because it helps to get all of the clutter and the chaos that's going on in your mind on paper. And there is always this instant release once you start writing things down. And then once you are able to write things down and really assess, you realize, oh, it's really not that bad. It really isn't as bad as I was creating it to be in my mind. Over the course of 2 months that I was without work, 2 months, uno dos, the funds were no longer funding. My bank account was doing this gradually, fast, slow, all at the same time. Honestly, I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, we just moved into this house in October. I'm about to lose it. The water's gonna get cut off. I'm not gonna be able to put food on the table. The lights are gonna be off. We're gonna be lighting candles, not for rituals, but because we can't see for it. There's no lights. So I was going through all of that in my mind. And I can honestly say the 1 month I was only 5 days late on my rent. My landlord did not charge me not 1 red cent of a late fee. The water was never disconnected. The lights were never disconnected. My phone was never disconnected. The internet was never disconnected. Everything continued to just be. In the midst of me breaking down, everything seemed to still just flow just as it always did. There is something about believing and knowing that it is okay to have breakdowns. I don't want any of you all to feel like you can't be human and experience human emotions, right? I was acting out of desperation. I'm using ChatGPT, help me to figure out how I can make this money by tomorrow, right? I was going into these very low vibrational places and trying to find the lowest hanging fruit to get money, and none of it worked. Why didn't it work? Because it doesn't align with me. That is just not what I do. I don't like to go the cheap route. If I want to spend, and this is a little joke between my friend and I, $80 on a mouse instead of $10 for a mouse, I'm going to spend the $80 because the mouse makes me feel good, damn it. To use that mouse, it makes me feel good. So I'm the same way in all areas of my life. I'm not going to settle. I don't want to start selling off my furniture, selling my equipment just to get a couple of dollars. No, I have to figure this out. I have to allow the manifestation to unfold exactly how it is supposed to unfold. Once I got out of that desperate energy, and being desperate it's natural. So I don't want you guys to ever feel like you just can't be in that anxious, desperate place. It's gonna happen. Even to somebody like me who has been doing this for so many years, it still happens. The key is not to stay there. So once I was able to go back to the rivers and lakes that I always tell y'all about, and that is for me, scripting, once I was able to get it all out of my head, I realized that it wasn't as bad as I was making it out to be. I went online, I applied for this job. I had no idea what the job entailed. It's still in property management. I've been in property management almost 20 years, in real estate almost 20 years, but this was a very unique description that I had never heard of before. I applied for it, not really thinking anything of it, because at this point I'm applying for everything that I could possibly find in property management. I got a call within 2 days. I interviewed over the phone. The next day I received another call and I was asked to go in. I scheduled that interview. The day of the interview, I leave the temporary job that I was working early. This was only about 7 minutes away from the temp position. I was 25 minutes late because the address that I went to was actually the company's old address. So I was like 7 minutes away. I finally found it, 25 minutes late. The hiring manager is visibly perturbed. And I actually thought the interview went horribly. I didn't think that she liked me. I didn't really care for the environment, the energy of the environment, even though the space was absolutely beautiful. I walked out saying, okay, this isn't gonna be for me. They're never gonna call me back. It is what it is. The very next day, I received an offer letter in my email and a phone call saying, hey, we wanna hire you and we're gonna give you exactly what you asked for. At this time, my rent was late, friend. My rent was officially late behind all of the things. And I'm like, wow. Okay, so I accepted the position and I ended up really, really loving the job. Like the environment is beautiful, like all of the misconceptions that I created once again in my head were totally wrong. Now, if you know me, you would know that I absolutely hate driving, period. I hate the traffic. I live in Nashville. The traffic gives LA, it gives Houston, it gives Atlanta. I absolutely hate it. I was having to leave my house almost 2 hours before I actually had to be at work just to kind of bypass the bulk of the traffic. In spite of that, I was still enjoying the job. It is super simple. In spite of all of the traffic and having to get up at the butt crack of dawn every single morning, I was still super grateful for this very easy job. Now remember, your girl can manifest anything out of the blue, absolutely. And whatever I want, I always get. I've told you guys many, many times before that the affirmation that I use every single day is, I always get what I want. And what I wanted was not to drive in traffic every goddamn day and every night. I was sick of it, but still in this space of gratitude for my job. 2.5 weeks in, the managers, we have this big old meeting, and then they meet with us individually and they say, hey, we have run out of space here at the corporate office and you don't have to take it, but if you're up for it, you can work fully remote from the comfort of your own home, Monday through Friday. They gave me the exact schedule that I wanted and I was like, say less. So not only was it a job that ultimately ends up paying me 6 figures, but it also turned into a fully remote position where I can work from home. I can be at home with my kids every single day and I can work in my pajamas. When 2 months ago, I was walking away from a job with absolutely no plan and I had no idea what the hell was gonna happen. I see videos every single day on TikTok of people saying that they've been out of work and applying for jobs for 6 months, 2 years, going on 3 years. They've applied at hundreds of places and they haven't gotten anything. And I was able to do it in less than a week. Once I actually started applying for jobs, I got that job just like that. The only difference between me and maybe some of those other people is that I was able to align my energy fairly quickly once I realized that I was completely out of balance. Once I aligned my energy and got out of that desperate space of just throwing everything that I can at the wall, hoping that something sticks, what I actually wanted came to me. I wanted a fully remote position that I didn't have to drive to. I didn't want to have to drive to a job because I, again, hate traffic. And that is exactly what I manifested. The universe conspired to get me exactly what I wanted. So the reason for me sharing this is I know that some people, a lot of you have been watching me for years, and y'all feel like I'm special, and I am. But we all are. I'm no different than any of you. I still have doubts. I still go through those ebbs and flows. I still kind of forget sometimes who I am. I definitely am capable of losing the plot. So I don't want for any of you to feel like, oh, I'm not as good as she is at manifestation, so I might as well not even try it all. We are all capable of doing the same thing and manifesting at the same level. You just have to believe in yourself enough and believe in the power that you innately have. So whatever situation you're in now that you're trying to get out of, just realign and write down. Get the shit out of your head. Just write it down. Just grab a piece of paper, write it all down, and then read it. And I guarantee you, you're gonna be able to see that it's not as bad as it could be. And as soon as you get to that space, that's where alignment begins to happen. Now, remember those foundational principles that I said that I need to get back to? I teach all of that in my course, Ready, Set, Manifest. It is on sale right now. I am practically giving it away. It is down in the description as well as in a pinned comment. Make sure that you guys like, comment, share, and share it with three of the people in your life that you feel need to hear this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, bye, bestie.